But I'm trying to get people to understand that there's a continuum. Just
well, that's not what was supposed to be happening at all. I'm having special issues today, guys.
But I'm trying to get people to understand that there's a continuum, just like I proposed that flow is on the continuum with insight. There's a continuum between what's happening with me and Hermes, and then there's people who are doing ally work, and then there's IFS, and then there's people who write creatively, like Stevenson, Robert Louis Stevenson, Treasure Island. He would wake up with his characters talking, right? Think about this. Every night you go to sleep, you have dream characters who have this kind of, right, you but not you presence in you, and you spend hours with them. And that's not a coincidence. That is necessary for your cognition.
Well, yeah, Dostoevsky actually thought of his characters as being real.
That's
right. Like as independent from him. And this reminds me again of Tomberg, because Tomberg talks about the imagination and meditations on the tarot in several ways. But the one that really lands with me is that he ultimately, like the ultimate register in which he talks about imagination is that imagination is the faculty which allows you to become the other.
Yes.
Which always reminds me of in T.H. White's The Once and Future King, like the way Merlin teaches Arthur is by actually like transforming him transforming them into other creatures. But like that's happening through Arthur's imagination is the way in which this transformation is happening, where it's allowing him to become. Well, it also makes me think of like of Douglas Harding's hierarchy of heaven and earth when he talks about like looking through the layers, where as I look through those layers both up and down the hierarchy of being, I actually in some way actually become the thing that I am looking at, whether it be the sun or a microbe underneath my microscope.
Yeah, you do, and notions, that are increasingly gaining steam about deep continuity. You put Evan Thompson and Michael Levine's work together, and Levin's work together. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name. Michael Levin's work together, and you get this profound deep continuity. And then some of the work that that's been done on extended cognition upward. And I won't repeat all these arguments as well. I mean, our ontology is shifting, and we're going through not only individual but collective transformative processes, and towards the imaginal. Like let's zero right in right now.
Let's zero right in right now. That's new branding from Ups. Welcome, Embody. This is the general generation saving civilization stream. And let me spoil the thumbnail for you right now. The saving civilization part is because this morning I finished beating Civilization 5 map as Oda from Japan. And I needed to make a savings throw against starting a new game, which is essentially 6 to 8 hours of clicking to lead the civilization to victory. And so I needed my own savings throw against it, and instead I made this saving civilization stream. So rather than starting a new civilization game, I'm live streaming. Welcome, everybody. This is the General Generation stream for May the 10th, 2024. Card of the show from the casino deck is the 9 of Hearts, and your savings throws are coming up right after this. Boy, howdy, being in an off time slot sure makes a difference. Pastor Paul stomping on the 11 o'clock with his stream today with Kaylin Bethel. Kaylin Bethel, I did make an appearance, which you've seen released on this video channel as a separate video. Stop it. Stop eating each other. I'm trying to do a stream over here. Just stop it. Everybody play nice. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart are the 4 choices of which you get to make one, and then you get a savings throw. If you don't make a choice, you don't get the savings throw. It's against the mind control you swim in which you can just count the advertisements and the cats. It's all mind control. Battling for your divine attention, which you're giving to me. Thank you so much. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Whoa, prime 17 for the survivalists today. The socialists with the number 9, you're going to need a bonus +2 for the hive mind chat. Lovers of wisdom doing just fine with the pair of 7s making a 14. Heart folks, just a 7 all by itself. You're going to need a +3. I don't know how to get those. Indigo with the number 9. 9 again. Thanks for that.
A man is defined by his action, not his memory.
Remember, Embody.
Now open your mind to me.
There is no agency.
Open your mind. Open your mind.
I see Ups and Slacks and Zach and Rascal, and there probably couldn't be a better small audience for this stream. Because what's on the cards for today's show is first a player's handbook. That one's an easy one, and then one for the wiki, which is the rest of these things. That's gonna be fun. General generation is also basically the substance of that card there, so that's going to answer the title, deliver on the title for you today. But an exciting and horrifying news, I gotta say. Now, I don't know if you're familiar. There's a couple of characters. The one you just heard talking was Vervaeke. He's the one consorting with Hermes. The good interviews over on Grail Country. That's another channel in this flotilla of channels we lovingly call. This channel of which is brought to you by the Shadow Cabal. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. Now, some other characters that are around either as a topic of discussion or as living and vital participants, as the Jean Vervaeke character, one of which is Toronto Toe, Kurt with the toe, and apparently released today, right in the time slot, opposite of Pastor Paul's live stream, is what terrifies me to no end. And that is, what's the title up there? What's the title? Christianity, Infinity, the Sacred Prayer, Relations versus Objects with Jean Vervaeke over on the Toronto. What is this big black box here? YouTube, what's the matter with you? What? Theories of Everything with Kurt Jaimungal. Toronto Kurt, as I like to call him. Let's have a terrifying taste, shall we?
Busy, but it's good busy. Both public and professional interest in my work continues to increase quantitatively and qualitatively, and I'm very, very happy about that. I'm
What is that exercise equipment product placement? What brand is that?
enjoying everything I'm doing, and the foundation, the Vervaeke Foundation, is doing well and thriving, and we've built a platform we're very proud of, the Awakening to Meaning, which is a whole ecology of practices and courses being taught and things like this. So very, very happy, actually.
Tell us about the foundation.
So the Vervaeke Foundation is it's got sort of two men.
The visuals and sound improve. Apologies, as I film all on my own with no assistance. And there's generally at least one problem that will occur because I suck. Thanks, Toronto Kurt, for your disclaimer there.
I'm not a cat.
All right, apologies accepted. Now, the 10 of Hearts is the agency deck card of the show. Now, the thing is, since it's just you guys here today on this Saving Civilization stream, let me tell you what's going to happen is when I end this stream, I'm either going to start another game of Civilization, hopefully hopefully finding some of the 47 different rulers you get to play with slightly different options that I haven't played yet, or I'm gonna get out the joystick and get back into Jumpgate. And the thing of it is, the Blue Church card of the show, is the Ace of Spades. The thing is, because the other thing I have to do today is wash and box a bunch of dead women's clothes, dead woman's clothes, dead ladies' clothes. There's clothes of a woman who has died in my house, and I have to wash them and box them. And as a coping, soothing mechanism, I'm also going to be playing video games. And so, despite my fact that I wanted to avoid playing the game, and that's why I live streamed, that's going to happen. I can't push it off too much longer. It's been 4 weeks now. Okay, and so this saving civilization thing, that's something you should know. You should know if you are like not all of us cured of your video. If you're not cured of your video game addiction, and you have Civilization 5 and like the ridiculous add-ons, you're gonna have to get the list from Grail Country. But on the Discord, there is a Saving Civilizations scoreboard. It's like, if we're still going to be video game addicts, we can get together. It's like, all right, well, I recently streamed the Vox Machina cartoon, and they did the Slayer's Take. And the Slayer's Take is a place in that realm that the Discord is affectionately like that for me. That's why there's the Scavenger Bounty board. And the clip harvest thing I haven't sorted out yet. But it's like, for me, the Discord is like that. And part of that bar, tavern, fun atmosphere was like, let's have a Saving Civilization scoreboard. And so if you do play Civ 5, there's a Gandhi domination save file where you start off as Gandhi and you have to win by taking everybody's capitals. And whoever does it in the least number of turns is winning. Nate Heil, for the longest time, had that championship title on the Discord there. But turns out that was because I didn't realize you could win by taking over just the capitals, and I was taking over the whole world. The whole world. Woo! And so if you want to compete, it's in there on the Discord, but you have to play as Gandhi.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Granny.
Yes, we've done we haven't done the player's handbook part yet, nor the one for the wiki part on this general generation stream, but we have thoroughly, finally, maybe covered the Saving Civilization thumbnail. Compete. See if you can beat my score.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Thank you, Ups, for bringing us through. Not only bringing us, but dropping in the link, because I didn't. The 23% of the goal of the May monthlies. StreamYard charges me money and stuff, and the sum of the monthlies is about what that goal is. Any of the add-ons on the list? I know there's a bunch. I made him play a vanilla game once because it was not cool. But you're gonna have to get that list from him. Get the list from him. Let's do the player's handbook part of this. Yes, Bart's here. We can definitely do the player's handbook part of this now. But one more branding. What's a good one? Oh, this one's appropriate. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. Yeah, it's actually kind of a good thing if I can find a ruler I haven't beaten it with yet, because if I get the joystick back out, that's never a good sign. I've also debated doing booting up old StarCraft 2. Some StarCraft 2. I don't even think I have the expansion for that. Okay, but on to the Player's Handbook, Shenandoah Valley deck card for the show. The deal is, I don't know if, it's a little bit clear on the hog form. I think mostly finally figured out that part. Okay, 3 of diamonds. This is for my dungeon masters out there, and this is a project that's the undergirds most of this LARPgate Year 4 inversion, and I guess what I'm going to get into with the stuff in the wiki too is that'll relate to this. But this is to my dungeon masters. You see, the project is essentially this: a player's handbook for this YouTube Scenius. Right? This thing, this channel, this flotilla, this how to play here, the different character classes, all of that laid out like a player's handbook. But that's like the LARPgate player's handbook. That's a project goal, and like a hog farm is that section. But it's basically there was a role-playing game once called Cyberpunk, and what we're going to do is basically make what we're doing now into a role-playing game book that we can send back into 1986 with this is what it's actually like in our reality. Play this version. And that's why it says Player's Handbook on the card. That's a project that I'm trying to work on, and I hope we can find people to play because it would be cool. Yeah.
We've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore.
Yeah.
We've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore. The exception has to become the center, has to become the one that's holding the center of the story. And so because of that, we've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore.
All right. Now, this is basically what's on this card here. And it's basically just a chain of thoughts. I'm gonna hop aboard before we take the train out of here. This is a general generation. The first thing on this card is thesis defense, and that's the notion I've had in the past and continually that we have the breast minds of our generations all have to do this thing called a doctoral thesis, and they get in front of people and they have to do a defense of it. And why the fuck isn't that a show? Why isn't something that the public is exposed to, the best, brightest minds of our generations, doing that? Why do we not know what research goes on at which universities? Why is this? Where is this level of interface with the legal and financial and other institutions? That realm of the situational awareness. What level of the LARPgate layer cake kayfabe thing is that, and that knowledge, and can we get there from here? And what if we get there from here by building something they've never seen before on our way up? Okay, that's the thesis defense. Oh, and then it says, and then
but he's overcoming something rather than, a true marksman will look at the arrows available and say, if I want to hit the target, I'll pick the best arrow so that I can hit the target. A true marksman might say, all of these arrows are crap. This arrow is at least crappy in a way that I can work with. But he's overcoming something rather than, a true marksman will look at the arrows available and say, if I want to hit the target, I'll pick the best arrow so that I can hit the target. A true marksman might say, all of these arrows are crap. This arrow is at least crappy in a way that I can work with.
Apparently that branding triggers the buddy, or his hunger triggers the buddy, and now I have a cat to deal with. Hello, buddy. How are you?
I think the truth that we can hold is, like, that's methodical truth. That's the truth that can be generated from a method. I think the truth that you're pointing to, the truth that seeks unity and seeks to be one with and participate in, which you're, I think, rightly talking about as love. And of course, relevance realization always involves caring, and I won't repeat that argument. I think that's all correct. But like, for example, all of those sort of dimensions, like interpretation, inspiration, intuition, insight, right? Each one of those has in it exactly what you said. It has love, there's a leap in it. And there's a love of something that is not, so there's almost something like a bit of a Pauline notion of faith. There's a love of something that is not yet fully disclosed, right? Each one of those, and see, and that's that's the daemonic, that's the metaxu, that's the in-betweenness, right? And it's weird because, like Hermes or Thoth or Hanuman or Michael, that's the locus of, they're in that weird place where there's an other that's me in self-transcendence. And it's a way in which I'm loving a self I'm not yet, but it's not egocentric, because I'm loving a self that is in more conformity to what is real. So I'm also loving through that future self what is more real, right?
And more you.
Well, that's the thing. It's simultaneously other than I am now. So it's all about L.A. Paul's the problem, the paradox of transformative experience, or Galen's, if it's other than the self, it can't be self-transcendence, and if it's real and if it's from the self, it's just growth. It's not transcendence. And no, that's the thing. It's dialogical, right? There's an other that is me, right? That takes me to be an other that I am now, that turns out to be more me, but is more me because it's that person is participating more in reality.
My imaginary higher self is leading me toward a better self. Whatever. Okay. Next on the welcome, everybody. This is the General Generation Saving Civilization stream. We're doing these cards. This one was part of one for the wiki, and it says, "What if they believed me?" And then in parentheses here, it's got "in." And that's with regard to the notion that, hi, I'm General Griswold Gaius Grim of the First LARP Ingression Protocol. And it whether you believe that or not, see, I think most people believe other things about me, like, let's just say favorably that I'm a starving artist on YouTube, right? Maybe that's what they believe about me. And the question, therefore, then was, what if they believed that I was a Shaper General? And what would that mean? And so below that on the card, it says, the Shaper Story Slow. The Shaper Story Slow, which means I'm supposed to tell the story, but like, not that here's the facts, but like just, as a story, which is not my normal form of presentation, so I'm using it as an excuse to play more branding now.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
A room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
All right, fine. Shaper Story Slow. Here we go. Once upon a time, there was this well-trained leftist transcriptionist who fell into the realm of Google+. And Google+ was a social networking experiment in competition with Facebook, because you see, at the time, way back in 2010 or whatever, you couldn't follow anybody on Facebook without asking if you could first. You had to ask permission. You had to be friends. And the Google Plus innovation was any old Yahoo could follow you. You had no say-so in who did or who didn't. And that was, like, of course, Facebook, all they had to do was change their whatnot in 2 seconds and destroy the competition. But it didn't innovate things, and it was a strange new environment for me. The people who did best on the environment were the ones that set up the tools. They advertised themselves as hardware salesmen. They said, we have the tools to help you succeed here on this new platform. And anyway, around the same time, I found the game Ingress, which you probably didn't hear of, as it wasn't all that popular. But when you did hear about the thing called Pokemon Go, that game was built on top of this other one called Ingress, which was what happened was a guy leaves the CIA and goes and makes this game about how the Earth is not what it seems like. That there's two sides, two factions warring for control of the minds of the planet, and you can make control areas for each one of those two teams by becoming an agent of the ingression. And the ingression is a shaper ingression. Entities that shape reality are trying to get into our reality, and the resistance is trying to stop that. And the enlightened side believes that there's been shapers here the whole time, and the other ones that are coming in are better for us, and we want the ingression. And so it came to pass, as I was playing that game, I realized that I was a shaper, and shapers aren't we all? It was I had the clip from The Crow with victims aren't we all, right before he kills Tintin, but it's shapers aren't we all? Because like I could go out to the park and play this little game on my phone, and then 2 to 3 other jackasses on the planet would come and go do something else. And it was me. We're all shaping reality the whole time. We're shaping each other. And that's the shaper ingression from my angle, is you guys are all shapers and I just have to wake you up to it. And so that's the shaper ingression. You're a shaper too. I'm here to wake you up, and that's how I become the general with an army. It's a rescue mission. All right, there you go. We got through the general generation. There's the story. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
And now I have to go see if there's not a ruler I haven't beaten Civilization 5 with yet. Have a lovely weekend, and I'm glad you got your savings throws. Thanks for making us feel virtually not alone. I don't know, man. This was a fancy New York lady. I'm hoping to get some money on a consignment.